the panelists. And before I start, I would like to give a little brief about Halal Angels Network. Halal Angels Network was launched in 2020. And the best thing about this launch was I launched it from under the feet of my mother. No great people, but the greatest person on the planet for me was my mother. And when I launched it, it became a viral thing. The whole agenda of Halal Angels Network was because there's a funding challenging happening in the halal economy. There are various things happening in the halal economy, like conferences and everything. But we thought there's a problem area we identified was the investment area. And that's what we thought we launch it. We wanted to launch as a VC, venture capital, but there are a lot of challenges of launching a VC because funding from one country to another country becomes difficult. And when we launched it, the first company we signed up was SEC Capital from Tanzania. It was an istikhara because the first migration of Muslims happened to East Africa. And after that, we also launched to promote women entrepreneurs. We started the Khatija Razitana initiative for women, because even in the mainstream entrepreneurship scene or startup scene, only with data 0.5% women participate in the startup or entrepreneurship this thing. So we thought, let's get all women together, and this was made under the AGS or respect for Bibi Khatija Razina Tala, the first angel investors in the Muslim history, because she was the first person who believed in Rasulullah, gave him, invested in his business, invested life, and she made what Islam is all about. So we wanted to respect her. Akram, next slide, please. Why the halal economy needs entrepreneurship? As it goes, entrepreneurs create economic growth. Entrepreneurs add, value to national income. Entrepreneurs create social change, community development. It creates innovation. It solves problems, adds revenues to the government, and creates jobs. So very interesting idea that entrepreneurship tries to solve a lot of issues. Next slide, please. And why this market? Because currently the market is estimated at $5 trillion, and it is going to grow to $9.7 trillion. Major countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan, India, Nigeria, Iran is going to grow, and even Turkey grow this market faster. Halal food, tourism, cosmetics, modest fashion, Islamic finance are always in demand. But there are other things as technology business. And then if you look at from Asian tech situation, they are trying to lure a lot of companies and population across the globe. And the younger population is mimicking the same millennials, and they're trying to break the stereotype, and they want to do ethical business, and that's a huge market where look at it. So thank you, Akram, and I hand it over to Akram Haq. Akram Haq is the founder, editor for the Policy Times. It's one of the most popular news channels from India. They do policy initiative dialogues, and he's also the board member of us. So I give it to Akram. Akram, please introduce the speakers, and we take it from there.
Thank you so much, Dr. Malik, for organizing such series of programs on halal and ethical startups. You have already explained why being a startup is important, or entrepreneurship is important, because entrepreneurship is the foundation stone of prosperity and innovation. Any nation, any civilization which wants to prosper and bring innovation in the society, it is only through the route of entrepreneurship. Second, why being ethical is important, because we as human beings, we have come to this earth and we will die, we will go. Like us, there are millions of generations which came before us. There will be thousands or hundreds of generations which will come after us. What we need to understand and realize is, till the time we are here, how we are using the national, global, and natural resources that are in front of us for the betterment of human being and for the betterment of this earth. And then how we preserve those resources for the future generations. So here, whatever resources we have at our disposal should be used in the most transparent, ethical, and sustainable manner. So being ethical and responsible is all about being sustainable and futuristic, caring for the current generation and future generation. So that is why I think your initiative is a massive success, Dr. Malik. And the world, I'll just put, globally, there are 7 billion population, and Muslims population is around 1.66 or 1.6 billion. If you see 23% of the world population. Now, being halal and responsible startup doesn't mean it is only catered to the Muslim audience. It is a global thinking or a global phenomena. So our message is for the whole world that let us develop business models, let us bring innovations for the betterment or for the upliftment of the humanity and humankind. Now I'm so honored to be part of this program. I want to welcome our speakers who will share their perspectives on this. And today we will talk about how Maldives is one of the most important pillars of bringing halal and ethical startups and innovation across the world. I have Anusha Abdul Latif, ma'am, a community leader based in Maldives. She is doing a lot of good work in the field of women empowerment and a lot of other areas. Mr. Mohammed Riaz, founder of Let's Invest in Maldives, promoting investment between Maldives and other countries. And we have Dr. Hussein Sani Umar, who is the managing director of Maldives Halal Travel and Halal Weekly. Now, Maldives is one of the most important and relevant countries in the field of halal investment, which we will hear from them. So let us go to our speakers and invite them. And as a principle of ladies first, we will invite Anuba ma'am to kindly share your view how Maldives is doing as as a halal and ethical destination of the world, and what are the best practices happening in Maldives and how Maldives is a model for the world.
Thank you very much, Akram, and thank you, Dr. Tausif Malik and all other panelists, Mr. Sani, Mohammed Riaz, and Akram, for giving me this platform to share about how the women entrepreneurship and how the halal entrepreneurship works in the context in Maldives. Well, as you know, Maldives is an Islamic country which also adopts Sharia in law. So there is an improvement and there is an opportunity for the women entrepreneurship as well as the businesses, the current existing businesses, to look forward for halal entrepreneurship. Since the concept has not been that much vital in this country for a long period, but there are some small, medium enterprises, businessmen and women who are practicing this in a smaller scale, not in a larger scale, but it is kind of a narrow down for a long time. And I don't think the public knows about it. I mean, the people who are into the business world, who are into this entrepreneurship, is much aware of how this halal entrepreneurship works in Maldives. Since we are located in a strategic location in the world, Indian Ocean, so I think the trading patterns and the things that has been navigating for a long time, we have been considered as the most strategic country which is located in the Indian Ocean, and all the trade patterns that goes from Singapore to Middle East and from the Europe will be going in this. They will be, passing Maldives in business related activities. So I think this could be one of the biggest opportunity for Maldivians to look forward for this. And as you know, Maldives women are...
Sorry, excuse me. Would you like to run your presentation?
Oh, yes, of course. So I just made a small presentations on this regard. So the Halal and Ethical Weekend with the series in Maldives. So we can go to the first slide. I always talk about women. I have been supporting women and children and advocating for their rights in the public domain, in the public platform. So to what I believe, a woman can only empower another woman is one of the strongest statements where we look forward in encouraging women to come forward for the business activities, in politics, in social activities, in non-governmental organizations and civic and social society, cooperatives and societies. So to strengthen them, we women have taken a note to come forward in these areas. So to move on, I have collected some of the data of how the women in corporate world have been successful in their entrepreneurship recent years. There are, 8th March is one of the international day which we celebrate as a Women's Day, where the Maldives corporate world have recognized and identified the topmost women entrepreneurs who has been doing a wonderful work and who has been established in this industry, in different industries in Maldives, who has been contributing to the GDP, the growth and development of these sectors, and they're contributing to the economy as well. So I have listed some of the women who have been in this business. Some of them are Anand Salah, who is the CEO of Voyages Maldives. So according to her, what she believes is breaking stereotyping and grow at your own space has led her to improve her business and come out of the hole that she has been living, that she thought that stereotyping can be overcome if they have the courage to do so. So she followed her dream and she has been one established woman, businesswoman in Maldives. Zuna Nasim is owner of Modugula Dive Center, and she has currently, she has been doing this work for almost more than 20 years in this industry. And according to her, when she thought that when she was starting this business, that no one should always look into doing something, they should always have this unique, different ideas, and you should have the love to do that work. So that is her success when she came out to this industry, and that's what she believed to be a successful entrepreneur. Fatma Nada, she has been the founder of Nada Salon, and she also holds an aesthetic studio where wedding ceremonies, or fashion designing. She has been in this industry, and for her, it was a challenging one. She believed that she has been learning every day, and this leads to a learning process. Whatever she learned today will give an access for her to prosper and grow in this industry. Suzina Ahmed, she is an event manager in Kurumba Maldives, where she holds the events and whatever the functions that is taking place in national and international level. So she came into this industry at a very young age, something around 19 years. So now she has been there for more than 30 or 25 years. So what she believes is knowing what you want to do and what you love. These were the courage that they brought in. They have come out of the rooms to pursue their dreams in this tough industry and very competitive industry in this, that is tourism industry. So I think she has been doing a wonderful progress throughout. And the fifth person is Raida Shafiq, who is the founder of Raida Maldives. She's creating a label that speaks to modern women as a brand, and that's the designer. She is recognized in both national and international level, and she believed that a brand is necessary for a woman to represent in the world platform in the field of designing as a career. Dr. Muniza, she is one of the talented women who has been recognized as the 14th most influential woman in the global finance, Islamic finance. And she has been also an associate professor, which was also recognized and was given and was recognized as the 14th most influential woman in the world, Islamic finance in the year 2018. She has been awarded a Woman Eye Awards by Cambridge International Finance Advisory. She's known to be one of the best women, who is also considered to be a role model. So opportunities, when you look into the opportunities for the women entrepreneurs, in the year 2018, Ministry of Economic Development, they introduced a finance loan scheme, which was ranging between 50,000 to 1 lakh. And they have also been providing to nourish and establish and bring improvements to the small medium enterprises and the woman who has been doing small businesses in the islands, as well as in the capital Male and everywhere, to boost the economy. Actually, the main purpose was to boost the economy and do a startup and empower women into small businesses, encourage them to come into this life and make their mark. So this is how it has been done, and in the year 2018. So, I would also like to highlight on women in tech industry, which is going very fast, and women in tech industry in Maldives. They have partnered with the MMA, that is Maldives Monetary Authority. They have been conducting a tour called Next Gen Girls for the younger girls who has also completed their education after O-level. And they have been supported by the Ministry of Education, and this event was held in the April 2020. So the idea behind this is to inspire young girls into the IT as a prospective career, those who want to improve their, go ahead with their career path if they want to choose. So introducing them into these organizations, which runs in the IT industries in Maldives, and to make aware that to pursue the education and their challenges towards the IT-related field. So this was marked as it was first celebrated in the Maldives in 2019. And this was also led by the International Telecom Union. The purpose of this was to empower young girls, consider their studies and pursue as a career. So there was one of the research that was conducted, an article was published in the year 2016 by Mr. Sandaram Freeman, National University of Colombo, and Mr. Gamini Kudaliyanage, development facilitator to Lanka Private Limited. So they conducted this survey targeting to three provinces we call now. At that time, it was like they were referred as the atolls. So based on that, they have conducted this survey, and for both men and women. And they came across that the challenges and the issues that were faced in small, medium enterprises in Maldives was men-dominant society. They believe that there's a men-dominant society when it comes to small business, even in the larger business. And I have highlighted some of the issues there. So it's challenges for the woman participation now at present day scenario. When you look at the government, the Maldivian government is very much emphasizing on politics, because there are some slots that has been allocated for the women to participate in the political activity, as they believe that women should more engage in this politics, and when it comes to decision making, they are better off. As per the survey they have conducted, and this can be lead under local government authority, that is under the Decentralization Act. So there is also a hope for building more cooperative societies in government organizations, where they are encouraged, civic cooperative societies also, to empower more women into small businesses by providing them loans and giving them adequate trainings, and how they're going to establish, giving them subsidies kind of. So this will help them to grow their businesses. So that is one of the challenges that we women in the business mostly are facing. Agriculture and farming, and recently during the pandemic, it was the food security was one of our concern in Maldives. So Ministry of Fisheries and Agriculture decided to have a food security. They had that in their mandate. they have opened up an Agro Private Limited for supporting the local farmers, both men and women, men and women, encouraging them to have their own agricultural products, grow their own food, and then these products are being brought up to all the local markets, and it can now they have a mandate that they are going to export as well, which is a competitive advantage, I guess, in this region. So the hotel industry most likely are given the homestay. Most of the women are encouraged in this industry as well because it's going successfully well. And the local tourism is also one of the greatest contribution to the Maldivian economy. So things are getting slowly moved up, and it's been encouraged by the government as well from the ministry. So I think if we were given the subsidies or maybe encourage or give loans under HDFC programs and schemes, I think we women can do a better off. And this halal and ethical entrepreneurship can be, expanded and once it's introduced in a proper way. And I think it will be a successful thing that we Maldivians can, especially Maldivian entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs can
Thank you.
continue with it. So I think relatively that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, again, there are some people willing to join. Do we add them? Dr. Malik, please unmute yourself.
I said, don't let anyone join because it's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now move. Thank you so much, Mr. Latif, for sharing your views and perspective about women entrepreneurship. Women is another backbone of the society. And I think if women take care of entrepreneurship or come into in fact, I prefer entrepreneurship more than jobs. I prefer women should be more into entrepreneurship than jobs because entrepreneurship gives more freedom, though more pressure also, but more freedom in terms of practicing the responsibilities they carry. So that way, I think it's a good thing. Moving ahead, may I request now Mohammed Riyaz, the founder of Let's Invest in Maldives, to kindly share your perspective.
Akram, you need to share his presentation.
Okay.
It's a PDF file.
Right.
Before you start, I would.
Please go on.
Yeah.
You can start.
Okay. Before Mohammed Riyaz started, I would like to say Mohammed has been since the time I launched it in 2020. He's one of the first persons from Maldives to get in touch with me. We discussed for a long time, and he saw what we're trying to do. And hopefully after the pandemic, we'll do a ground event with everyone, including the current speakers, to do Halal Ethical Investment Summit. Because tourism is great. So if we can get some high-profile investors to the island nation of Maldives, that would be a great booster. So that would be very interesting. And again, as Sister Anusha has been actually a community leader, but she also contested the election. And that has been she's really serious about things. So I think that would be very exciting for her to also be part of a project. Akram, small question: the people who have joined in AYA, are they your team members?
I don't think so. So that is what
I think if they're not team members, just remove them without any offense.
Yeah, I'm sorry because we are having some technical issue for which we are removing people. Go on. Let's start.
Yeah.
Mohammed Riyaz, over to you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Tausif, for initiating to bring halal to Maldives, which is very important a country where it is not being kind of informed or kind of aware of what we can do from the halal industry. With Akram has highlighted how much potential we have. So basically, for me, what we created Let's Invest in Maldives is that to provide whatever investment in the Maldives. So we provide consultation, we provide the sources, and with our experience, we try to invite businesses to the Maldives. In our case, we will like to push more halal concept in the Maldives, which is very important. So far, we have not have any dry resort or dry concept in the Maldives. I hope it will come very soon with our collaboration with Dr. Asif and the team. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit hurry today because I have a flight to Singapore. So I will be a little bit rushed if you don't mind. So we can go to next slide. Okay.
Yeah.
About myself, I started 1999. Kind of, I have, tourism is my background. My blood is like tourism, so we are very much into tourism. That because of Maldives is a top tourism destination where the main income is from tourism. There are other sources. So with the tourism, we started with the tour operation to the Maldives, which we are doing very successfully in the Maldives. And then we came to know that we have to give our consultation and our advice to the investors who are interested for the high return of investment in the Maldives. The next slide. I think everybody knows about Maldives. Maldives is very popular. After the COVID, we got the safest destination all over the world because Maldives is so isolated, and we have quite number of high number of arrival after COVID, and we are hitting the record number of arrival to the Maldives because of the safe destination. During the COVID, we have experienced a lot of advantages which we see in the Maldives because of the isolation. I can give one example. People living in one island or the staff living in the island are fully vaccinated, and then tourists who are coming to the island will stay in the island and they will go back to home because there will be no mingle of others, so that Maldives can be very safe, and the environment in the Maldives is very unique because it can have around tourism in the Maldives because we don't have 4 seasons. We have only one season in the Maldives. The next slide, please. Why invest in the Maldives? Well, first of all, return of investment is very high in the Maldives. Sorry, I got the call. First of all, the return of investment is very high in the Maldives because of the tourism sector. The tourism sector is the main sector for investment in the Maldives. Now, recently, government has announced that is good for the local, but for the investors, there are investments scale. You pay $100,000, you can do a very good investment in Maldives, guest houses, and then island stay, which is very common in the Maldives. The next slide, please. There we have a agribusiness sector in the Maldives, which is booming up. Why? Because all this segment in the Maldives, especially for the tourism sector, or the locals, most of the foods provisions is being imported. So the government have decided to improve the agribusiness. So this is something that the investors can also look into the investment in the Maldives. The next slide. Then we have construction sector, which is happening in the Maldives. There's a new Male, the second Male, which is connected by a bridge from Male to the airport and then to the Hulu Male. And now Hulu Male HDC is looking for investors. There we can do directly with them. They have a lot of options down to invest under construction, which will be a developing stage of the second Male. Next one. And then the fisheries sector, obviously, fisheries sector is the oldest income generation to the Maldives, which can be a second economical income generating to the Maldives. Maldives is very popular for Maldivian tuna. I see that comparing fish even to Sri Lanka, India, Maldivian tuna has something unique in it. It is, quite different than other tunas around the world, which we have experienced. And then this is something that investors can look into it because especially the logo of Maldivian tuna is very popular around the world. And of course, we are having 99% sector, which is energy sector, which is also booming because everyone want to go for ecology. And then Maldives government, especially the new government is very much focused on energy sector, which is important for the Maldives. Why? Because not only for the environment, because for the economy. Whatever we are using to generate energy is actually using fuel, which have to change into a system. Next one. And we have government has opened investment for domestic airports, which is connected to the islands, so we can reclaim and make domestic airports, which government has announced 3 more airports, which after to have domestic, and then they can be extended to international, which is very very potential to the Maldives, to investors who are willing to do tourism business or any other business to the Maldives. Next one. So with our experience, especially with the tourism sector, we'll be able to cater any investor, anybody who is interested to invest in the Maldives, or anyone want to have any consultation regarding investment in Maldives. I would like to bring more halal concept in the Maldives because it is very unique. Once again, I would like to thank you, Dr. Tausif, for taking the initiative. Yes, again, business in the Maldives has a lot of stability. I think, yes, I have covered already this. Next one. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Taufik, Akram, and I appreciate Anusha coming up to this event and giving very good feedback about women's rights and women's things.
If you have
once again, I thank you very much. I'm very soon on the road now. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. If you can wait for another.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Or you will have to go for your flight. So we can be very specific, ask questions to you, and then you can leave.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mohammed Rijaz. Yes. Yeah, Dr. Malik, please. Go on.
Yeah, Brother Mohammed, I have a question because as Anusha also talked about, agriculture and energy and, and maybe Dr. Sunny can add in his talk also on this. Because if it's agriculture, and I believe yesterday when I was talking to Anusha, she's saying we are importing country, we're not exporting country. If you already have land, you already have water, So why not, fisheries, and this can look at the starting point for, halal food certified exporting from Maldives. And earlier, as she said, because it's a transit point, so exporting will also become easy. And maybe later, Dr. Sunny can add some points on this. So, Brother Mohammed, can you answer this?
Yes, thank you, Tansif. Yes, agriculture, of course, it is needed because what I mentioned that whatever, I mean, most 90% of provision, we bring to the country is important. So definitely, this is something that we have to look into it. We are actually hoping that investors will be interested to invest, especially as Anusha has mentioned. I know most of them which she has mentioned. Especially there are some of the women that who are doing agriculture presently in the Maldives, but that could not be enough. We need to have in a larger scale. So it will be something that which is needed. I mean, the scope is so high. You can imagine we have kind of 1.6 million tourists only in a year. So to cater them all the provisions which we are importing, which is costing extra money for the economy, it will be something that is very much important for us. Thank you.
And final question from my side, and maybe then Akram will ask you, how do you see, because since the time you signed up with us, how do you see the potential of halal business and startup business? I know, just a small summary, 2 sentences, and maybe Akram can ask you a question after that.
Yeah, once again, thank you, Dr. Taufik, to take initiative to bring halal concept to the Maldives. Maldives is 100% Muslim country. I don't see any other country has 100%, which is very, very important, and it is very unique. And people in the Maldives, they are very much into actually halal thing. I see that a lot of, good people who are interested, very religious people who are worried about the food which is important, to the Maldives. When I see other countries, they have a country example, Malaysia, they have a very specific rules for halal thing, which is not actually in the Maldives because Maldives it's a little bit very or little bit easy, not going for the real concept. So I think when I see the grocery stores, people who are selling the food items, it's not specific for that. People are not very much specific, so which is very important for us. Yeah, thank you.
And what do you think about the startup industry in Maldives? Because you are the person getting investment to the country.
This is very important. Yes, we will have a series of meeting with the government and private sector in future, inshallah, because of the COVID we can't move. So I see it is very much needed to the country, and it has a potential. Yes.
Akram, you can ask question, and then
Thank you so much, Dr. Malik. A lot of points being cleared actually from your PPT presentation. So you mentioned about opportunities in agriculture and others. Yeah, Anusha ma'am, if you have.
Yeah, I would like to add a point which Mohammed Riaz has mentioned, by your permission. Well, what the ideology that we have in Maldives is that I'm looking, as a woman, I'm looking for new prospectors in this country, like when it comes in terms of investments and halal. So we have a great opportunity when you look into the renewable energy sector, plus the agriculture, fishing, and all these things. I think in the Copenhagen summit that we had this year, they were very much emphasizing on the climate crisis and how to come with the renewable energy and how we can tackle and mitigate these climate issues and challenges facing in Maldives. So I think if we could encourage and pump funds into these areas mostly, I think we can introduce halal investments in Maldives in this route, as well as in agriculture as well. And homestay is also one of the competitive and high ranging, high rising industry that is coming up. So to the ideology that I have as towards my country is made in Maldives. So we are looking forward for the industries, the garment industries, or whichever industries to come to Maldives and we produce. Even the toothpick that we use are being brought from abroad, exported, imported. So the thing is, why not we make our own thing? Why not we do our own thing? Why not we come into introduce made in Maldives and establish in some scales, as a startup. So that is the ideology and the dream that I have for my country. And I hope that this platform would definitely give an opportunity for the people who are interested in going forward with the halal entrepreneurship, especially among the women in Maldives. Thank you very much.
Brother Mohammed, regarding startups, and then as you have a tight deadline, maybe you can, say bye-bye to us and maybe do a next webinar with us. So what do you think about the startup ecosystem and how can we work? A small 1 or 2 line sentences.
Well, Dr. Tausif, everything related to the investment and halal concept is a requirement now to the Maldives. I see that that Maldives is waiting for that, and people have not initiated to come with the idea of halal. As I said that when we said when we introduce ourselves saying that we are 100% Muslim country, people are amazed, people love it. So with that concept, we have to bring other segments into the concept. So that's what I can say in short. So the potential is high. We will see that inshallah this year or next year we can have a physical meetings down in the Maldives soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Mohammed. Have a safe trip, bon voyage. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Walaikum salam. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anusa. Thank you, Sani, coming to this event. Thank you, Akram, for hosting. I'm really sorry. I actually have to do some emergency trip, which we scheduled this meeting for a long time, but I have to do it because I have to go to Maldives as soon as possible for an emergency. Once again, thank you very much. Very safe and very blessing day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you. Dr. Malik.
Now let's invite Dr. Sunny, because he's an expert on halal, kind of thing, because he works in that space. So maybe he can share his presentation ideas, and then we can do a question answer session and then, take it further.
Yeah.
Dr. Sunny.
I cannot screen share my presentation.
Yeah, you can now.
Okay. I hope you can see this presentation.
No.
You cannot see the presentation?
No, it's blank.
It's black. I have already. Let me check once more.
Or if you can WhatsApp me, I will.
Yeah.
Is it now?
No, brother, still not. If you want, you can WhatsApp me and Akram can run it.
Yeah. I will forward.
I can give you
right
Akram's number. You can directly WhatsApp him.
I have sent it to both of you through WhatsApp.
Okay. Have you sent it?
Yep.
Just let me check.
Should be there now.
Which number? I have not received anything yet. Dr. Malik, can you forward me?
It's the presentation from WhatsApp. I have sent it.
Yeah, I have received it. Please go on. You
Okay.
start talking and I'll keep sharing. I'll share it.
Yeah. So thank you everyone, and assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everyone. So my name is Dr. Hussain Sani Umar. I have a media and PR company initially, then later on I did my research on halal travel and my PhD thesis, and this is one of the presentation I have presented in US, in Qatar, and Turkey. So what happened is one of the growing industries in the world is globally the global Muslim population and Muslim industry. So in terms of travel, Maldives is one of the leading destinations. So I was wondering, how can we target the Muslim segment to Maldives? So if we focus on the global tourism market, it is 1.4 billion people are traveling every year. And in Maldives in 2019, we got 1.7 million people. And because of COVID last year, we got only 1.3 million. Or as Riyaz and everyone have highlighted that we have 100% Muslim country, all our resorts have Muslim services and everything is there. But we have never targeted this market. For instance, Emirates, Qatar, Fly Dubai, Saudi Island, everyone has daily flights to Maldives. And in 2019, we only got 40,000 from the Middle East. And the same year, 350,000 went to Malaysia. And in all the records and all the statistics, Malaysia has been ranked as the #1 destination simply because they have been targeting this market since 2011. In the second slide, you can see the global halal industry is 2.2 trillion, which has almost gone to now 2.3. The biggest one will be food and finance, followed by modest fashion, which is very new in Turkey. It's very, very popular. For instance, the biggest modest platform will be Modernisa, which has already partnered with various other suppliers. Even Nike has their own modest fashion industry now. The Burkini has been introduced. The third is the media, and the fourth is Muslim-friendly travel. The travel component is growing really fast, but because of the COVID, there are some challenges faced by. So can you go into the second slide? Yeah, so if you look at the population, Middle East alone is like 500 million plus now. This was done in 2019. And the outbound travel market is more than 10 million. Our focus is mostly on the GCC segment with the population of 64 million. And the countries include Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. And these are the top spending countries in terms of halal travel. And the halal travel total spending is 189 billion. This is excluding Hajj and Umrah. And our focus is 1.8 billion Muslim population. Next slide, please. So if we consider this as a market, we have seen a lot of numbers increasing in terms of honeymoon. And of course, Maldives is the honeymoon destination. And the second one will be the family travel. Again, Maldives is very much into the family travel. There are kids club, there are various other activities, and it's the safest destination. For instance, if you go to any other country, you can drive a taxi right into the hotel. But in Maldives, you need, even for the staff, you need prior reservation. You just cannot go into these islands, and one island is one hotel. And if you consider the local islands, now the guest house started in Maldives in 2011. The first one came in 2011. And today we have over 607 hotels in 80 islands. And its total bed capacity is at 15,000. And this is the budget market, which Maldives doesn't market that much. And the third one and the most unique one is solo female travelers. Again, if any solo female traveler, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim, if they come to Maldives, instantly they will be meeting the resort operator or the travel agency, and they will be taken direct into the resort or the hotel. So there are no middlemen, there are no challenges, no difficulty. The airport itself is very small. So we have a really good product in the Maldives. The third slide, please. If we consider what they are looking for, the 189, in 2019, 184 million Muslim travelers were looking for vacations, activities, and all related to travel. One of their fundamental requirement is halal food. Of course, Maldives is 100% Muslim country, so we cannot import anything that is not halal. If the resorts are, in resorts, we have alcohol and pork. They have to acquire different certification and different process they have to go through. Other than that, everything is halal. And even in some resorts late in 2019, they have targeted Muslim market very limited. We have around 160 resorts operating at the moment, and somewhat 20 to 30 are already targeting this market. So they have Arabic cuisines, Arabic restaurants, and there's a resort called Ayada where they have hammam and they have shisha lounges and so on and so forth. The second one for the Muslim segment is privacy. In Maldives, if no one questions about the privacy, because we have in some resorts we have extreme privacy, like you have to take a boat to the villa or the bungalow, and it's excluded from the entire population. Again, the safety, we have one of the safest. Dubai says they are the safest, but in terms of Maldives travel, we are one of the safest in the world. And so far, the crime is almost no crime. It never has, no crimes ever happened in Maldives in terms of travel. The other slide, please. So like I said, I have highlighted how the market has been going on. If the GCC segment is 64 million, and they are targeting Asia population after the Twin Tower issues, and they were having reluctant to go, and issues related restriction of travel to the West. So in 2011, they started traveling to the Asian side, but the industry, like countries like Thailand, Singapore, were not that much ready. But now there's been a lot of programs, especially the works of Crescent Rating. Mr. Fazal has been advocating this project, and so many countries have now followed the halal paradigm and everything. So the second one, the most traveled destination countries are Asian countries by the Middle East population. Number one is Europe, and average spending is above $4,000 per person. Next slide, please. In terms of trips for Europe, it's France, and in terms of Asia, it is Thailand and Maldives. Maldives appears to be on one or second in almost all the researches. This is one of the research done by Crescent Rating and MasterCard, and there are some other UNWTO where Middle East population has been recognizing Maldives as one of the prominent destinations. Next slide, please. So at the moment, we have around 160 resorts now. They have new properties has been opened, over 1,000 guest houses in 80 islands. We have safari vessels and liverboats, which is 150. 19 city hotels are there, and total bed capacity is over 50,000 now. In 2019, we received 1.7 million, but out of this, we only got 40,000 from the Middle East, which is very low compared to the total arrivals from the Middle East segment and the airlines. Next slide, please. So we started Maldives Halal Travel in 2019 with the blessing of Ministry of Tourism and MMPRC, which is the promotion body. To that date, very, very limited promotion has been done in the Middle East. It's just the Arab travel market, nothing else, maybe a few road shows. So our platform has Arabic language as well as the English language targeting to the Middle East market. So our content covered are mostly the information pertinent to travel and travel industry, information about resorts, travel airlines, solo travel, family travel, and honeymoon travel. So these are all, from 2019, we have been publishing 3 to 4 articles per day, and we have covered some extent to interviews and content creation. Next slide, please. So our main focus is Arabic language and English language. We have covered some 6 to 7 travel fairs, including US Halal Expo, Dubai Modest Fashion, Turkey OIC Halal Expo, and virtually we have participated in 6 to 7 expos. And also we have an official magazine, our dedicated websites. We also passed around some of the free pyramids, and our videos have been covered somewhat content on the travel experience in Maldives. We have a food show coming up where we cover halal food contents produced by different resorts and local islands. Next slide, please. We also have, this is the first more Muslim-friendly travel rating. There are other food-related travel rating for halal, which we do not cover. We only focus on the travel side. So in terms of travel, we check whether the hotels have halal food, prayer facilities, segregation of sexes, and the basic items. So we have done the rating for roughly around 10 resorts, and we are going to do another one for the hotel chain in Maldives. This will be the first city hotel to do this travel rating. Next slide, please. And this is also part of, we have checked the financial transaction, and our rating is from 1 star to 5 star. This has no relationship with the hotel rating. This is simply the Muslim halal travel rating. The standard is different, the quality will be different, but this is only, we focus on the halal travel rating side. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. Akram, are you there?
Yeah. And through our website, anyone can check our information related to halal travels. We have the website, we have TikTok, we are on almost all the social media channels. Next slide, please. Halal Weekly is one of the medias. When we started Halal Weekly, there were very few media channels covering halal news. So from the first slide, you can see the global halal industry, which is enormous, $2.3 trillion. So we wanted to start a halal news media where we cover finance, food, travel, modest fashion, IT, or anything that is related to halal industry. So we cover the stories, we cover their information, interviews, and so on and so forth. So almost a year ago, we started this project. We have also participated in almost all the travel fairs and travel expos mentioned here. Next slide, please. We also planning to issue a prayer gift package through our travel agency. Next slide, please. This is our magazine. We have distributed and launched the first magazine in Arab travel market in 2020. Our second issue will be coming next year. Next slide. This is our packages. We have partnered with various other travel operators from US, Turkey, from Middle East and India, some of the companies in India. We have slowly, we are getting the traffic. It's not that good at the moment. We started our agency in the last July. So hopefully it will be growing because of the COVID period. Everything is very slow. Next slide, please. That's it. So this is an overview of the global halal industry as well as Maldives halal travel. So I am actually engaging in this environment in Maldives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Dr. Malik, go on, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sunny. Now, Akram, you ask questions. I will also ask questions to both the panelists. If they were audience, what they would ask. So let's look at that way.
Yeah. So, number one, in what areas can India and Maldives collaborate or can collaborate to promote ethical and responsible entrepreneurship and investment? And in which way we can collaborate? Yeah.
I don't think many people knows that India has more Muslims than Pakistan. India has over 204 million Muslims. Pakistan has 201 million, which is a very unique number. And also in Russia, there are more Muslims than Syria, Jordan, and one other country combined. So the Muslim population is enormous. And in terms of India, I think almost all the people in Maldives speak in Hindi. So sab log ko ye bhasha malum hai. So it's easy to do travel. We have the similar culture. We eat the same food. It will be easy for both of us. And in terms of travel, our biggest GDP operator is travel. So mostly there's space in travel industry. And we have also partnered with India Halal Expo. They're going to host a show and expo, I think, in the coming months.
Dr. Sunny and Anusha, Akram talked specifically for India, but when you look at GCC market or people traveling from other countries because Halal Angels is a global platform. So how would inbound tourism or anything which can, propel the economy? Is there any restrictions for investment, if you know? Is there some visa category? Like yesterday, because I'm an American, after a lot of deliberations, America has started the startup visa, where you can come invest in companies and you get a startup visa. Other countries were doing it. So is there anything which is happening which we're not aware of, if an investor comes, something like that, if you guys have information?
I think Anusha can have the first answer.
Yeah, regarding your questions, I don't think there is any restrictions in our country because Maldives has opened up for a lot of investments, especially in the Hulu Male, which is adjacent to Male, chapter Male, where they have opened up investments in the phase 2 of Hulu Male, which is open for almost all the investors who are around the world who are interested to invest in construction industry, real estate, and businesses, cafe restaurants, and all these things have been opened up. And I think the recent under legislative, they had brought that for a foreign investor, if they do an investment, they'll be getting resident visa, and all these kind of privileges are there for them. So I think it's a great opportunity for the investors to invest in Maldives. And not only that, even in the tourism Ministry of Tourism, they have announced to mark the 50 years of tourism industry in this country. They have opened up recently, I believe it was in last month, 2 months ahead, it was announced. About 18 of the islands has been announced for investment, which is less than something around 1.4. There are $200,000 investments as well in these 18 islands. So I don't think there's any restrictions, any boundaries for the investors right at this time. But I don't know what about the other countries, because due to pandemic, some of the investors are lagging behind, or maybe they are just staying back to see how the conditions are going to improve in the worldwide. So I think we are getting a lot of investments through Chinese from China, Russia, and even in India, even in Sri Lanka as well. So I don't think there's any restrictions for the foreign investments and in this country at present.
Dr. Sunny, what is the business potential for investment into halal industry? Because you're an expert in that area. If I invest $100, for example, in Maldives, how much ROI can I get? Because what Mohammed Riaz talked about, the high return on investment, because it's at a starting curve of growth. So is there, benefit of anybody wanting to invest, how they can make money?
If you look into global brands like Ritz-Carlton, Waldorf Astoria, Hilton, almost all their top luxury properties are in Maldives. And some of the recent statistics by JLL established that in 7 years, almost all of their investments are covered. And these investments are above $40 million. That's the minimum. Now, for instance, the recent resort opened by Ritz-Carlton is above 100 million. And there are another company he's in Indian order, but he's in Oman, which is called Chedai Kudabilingil, now rebranded to Kudabilingil alone. So he also invested somewhere around $70 million in a resort, and he's expecting recovery in 7 years. In the other areas, I think over 70% of imports are from India in terms of food, clothing, and you name it, anything. All the brands are here already. In terms of halal, majority of women, mostly in the islands, they wear abaya, dresses, scarves, which are imported again. And this is a very untouched market. And this is a very good, fast-moving market where I think there's potential. And also there's potential in green energy, renewable energy, technology. I think a lot of Indian companies have already invested in Maldives in terms of tourism, because that's the most revenue is generated through tourism. That's why a lot of companies are there. We are partnered with Go India, Go Air, Indigo. All the islands are already here. So in terms of halal, I think media opportunities are there, content creation is there, internet is there, software development is there, so many other things are there.
Okay. Akram, anything you would want to ask?
Yeah, how can we involve governments like Maldivian governments in the entire campaign of promoting halal ethical investment in Maldives?
Initially, Maldives wasn't that much interested in focusing on those markets. My prime goal was European market, because tourism started with European countries. Until recently, the supply of beds have been growing enormously. For instance, now we have 50,000 beds. On top of that, we have announced 35,000 additional beds that is on top of all these guest houses and everything, which is 15,000 beds. Our capacity is growing enormously, but we need more operators, more travel agents to fill this gap. Our current target is 2 million within the next 5 years, but we need a lot of help from international operators to fill these beds. So it's a huge area, I think, to, from the investment side and everything.
Anusha, ma'am?
Add up to it. Now, I think Dr. Sani has highlighted some of the issues, the opportunities in Maldives. So what I thought was, why not we have an investment forum in Maldives or even in India or any part of the world where we can bring all the investors together and talk about, create more awareness among about this halal investment and entrepreneurship, so that people will have the willingness to invest in these things and they can grow their business. If they have an existing business, they can grow. So I think having an investment forum is very important for us to keep in touch between how we can meet one another and talk about this and how it can be done and what are the procedures that need to be followed and what are the supportive that can give by the government or from other governments as well. So I think if we can communicate and if we come along together and have this kind of investment forums, that would be a good opportunity, I guess, and also lead to halal investments in different sectors, not only tourism, but we have agriculture, we have renewable energy, and we have even different sectors that need to improve, like in small scale, in small medium enterprises. I think we have to focus more because as long as I know, small medium enterprise is the backbone of an economy. So I think if we can pump into these sectors, the GDP as well as the country would progress and open up for globally. So I think investment forum is one of the important things that we have to look forward if we are going to bring halal with entrepreneurship to introduce.
Let me add here, Anusha. When we launched Halal Angels Network, the whole agenda was expos were happening, manufacturing was happening, everything was happening. But the problem we identified was the investment thing. Like Dr. Sani would agree, he's attended more expos than me. But what happened is after the handshake at the expos, nothing is translating into money. That's a huge, huge problem I see. And that's what is turning real investors for not attending the conferences anymore, because they feel, it's not happening. The other thing is, as 70% of Muslims don't stay in a Muslim country. So funding is a challenge. And, if there's a good investor, he can't find a good business to invest. The other thing is, if it's a good business, there's no good investor. And the minute you talk about finance, it gets into Islamic banking. But banking doesn't grow your business faster. You look at America, I'm in America, venture capital, angel investments give you more returns. So what we decided is when we launched Halal Angels Network to connect investors with businesses and solve the funding issues, whether it's individual, whether it's a family office, whether it's venture capital, whether it's a sovereign fund. Every Gulf country, every rich country has a sovereign fund. Connect them with the startups. But unfortunately, COVID has prolongated. The other thing which we want to do is why we are doing this webinar series, because we have partnered with different people across the globe. And like 2 weeks ago, we had Japanese people, the Italian people, the Tanzanian people, everywhere. We want to do across the globe once a month, one Halal Ethical Investment Summit. And we want to invite 200 investors. And because if Dr. Sani and you as community leader and Muhammad Riaz and the team, if you can work together, we can do the Halal Ethical Investment Summit in Maldives. Now, Maldives is a tourism destination, but it's not doing catering conferences. When you look at Dubai or Las Vegas, their main revenue inbound travel is there, but conferences. So here we want to do this forum, maybe post-COVID, maybe September, October, when things, when there's no vaccine mandate, we want to do that. Akram, you have any questions? So we can take final comments from them.
Yeah, I think excellent idea, Dr. Malik, because Dubai, they have positioned themselves as a global MICE hub, global conference hub. So why don't we promote Maldives, as because Maldives tourism in Maldives is also equally like, so they have promoted business tourism. Maldives is more like a relax and leisure tourism. I think we can work out in terms of converting that image into more of like a MICE tourism or business tourism. If you can promote that, the economy will have a different kind of benefit and advantage of it. So I think we can do it. A great idea. So I think, yeah, I would be more like in the action point of, getting some points out of this discussion, and then let us work. Let us action the ideas that we are discussing here.
So final comments from both of you. So
let us take a closing comment from our speaker. So Anusha ma'am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. What I would say is that I'm looking forward for this because even recently also the Maldives City Council has announced to give some of the lands for the entrepreneurship, those who are willing to start their small businesses. So this is also one of the platforms where they are opening up for this kind of an opportunity. So I think if we can, reach into this, enter into this market and empower women, especially women, on this halal tourism or whichever the business they are carrying out. This will be a great opportunity for us. And meanwhile, I think as Mr. Akram has mentioned and Dr. Tausif, as you have also mentioned about having an international event about this halal entrepreneurship and having this kind of a summit or a forum or kind of a festival thing, so this will attract investors globally as well as the Maldivian investors as well. So to be in one place and then knowing more about it, I think lack of awareness is one of the biggest challenge that we are having about this field. So I think we need to talk about it more. We should have so many conferences. We can have an economic forums together, national level and international level, so that people could understand what exactly we are doing. I mean, Dr. Tausif and Akram and all others have been doing. So I think we should have more sessions, more seminars, more investment forums, both levels, so that to bring this halal investment and to grow this business is one of the dream that I would like to have and want to see in Maldives. So I really thank for this, and thank you very much once again, Dr. Tausif and Dr. Sani Akram and Riaz, for giving me this platform to highlight on the issues of the Maldives, especially with the women, and how the businesses are dealing with and the challenges that we have in the business for Maldivian women. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Sani.
One of the things that you highlight how to work with government is that government is interested only in serious players. Like all the big companies are coming, so they know what they want, and all the investments are mostly done by the largest companies. Like for instance, we have the largest seaplane operator, TMA, Trans Maldivian Airways, where from China, Bain and Capital have invested, from US Blackstone has invested. Also, Conrad was bought by an unknown, really big company. So these investments are huge. In terms of small to medium, these are guest houses. I think guest house is a prominent investment which is located in the local islands, and to build and partner up with it's very straightforward and simple. Government is only interested in serious businesses like investment side, and from promotion side, there's a promotion board. So Maldives is very small and we cannot communicate with everyone. So the line of communication is very difficult, and everyone is trying to communicate with the promotion board and ministry. That's why it's taken such a long time and it's slow. In terms of MICE travel, again, we have some of the key conferences and things like UNWTO, World Trade Organization, all the things happen in Paradise Island and Kurumba. These again are most luxurious ones happening in Maldives in terms of fashion or anything, launching of a product. Dates are limited, but it happens every now and then. From the investment side, as you have spoken about Dubai, Abu Dhabi has invested in Noon Eto'o Mafar Airport, where all the luxury jets are now landed there. So investments like this happen immediately. So if there's a serious player, they can directly go into the ministry and who is responsible. It's very straightforward.
Thank you. Dr. Malik, closing comment.
Thank you everyone for coming in. We are very open to working, and I would like to thank Sunny actually, because Halal Weekly has been promoting us on social media, and I never knew you actually own that Halal Weekly. So from my team, I would like to thank you for making smart videos, actually, very smart videos. So thank you so much. Till now, I never knew you would own it, even though we are connected. And yesterday, when I spoke with Anusha, the passion she carries for, making her country the manufacturing hub, the drive, I think is very infectious. I got infected. I think when she goes all out into the market, it will affect more people, I think. And we are ready to work with you guys through Policy Times to Halal Angels, how we can work and do dialogues online, offline. And hopefully when COVID is over, we'll do this event in Maldives, because a big ticket event changes things. And we are doing big ticket events. So we'll only look at investors. We don't want to sell tickets. It has to be sponsored totally, because investors don't buy tickets and come. It has to be invite only, and it's going to be 2-day event. So maybe once things settle, and after this webinar series, we're going to start the Khatija Razina Taraf webinar series. We're going to talk about women issues. So I would like to invite Anusha, and if she can get some more women from the island, and Dr. Sunny, we can work around that, maybe a 2-week session on that, how women are doing and all that thing. So thank you very much from my side. God bless you. And final comments from Akram, because today he's been very silent. I think he wants to go to Maldives soon for a holiday.
That's really wonderful country, and we should explore the whole. The elite class of India, spends their time in Maldives mostly, and we can.
You're almost welcome to Maldives. We all welcome. And namaste.
Namaste.
With this, we formally close today's program. Thank you. Keep watching.
Thank you.